broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. It's me, Coach Muddle. Nevada Nick, as you know, went to Atlantic City and got himself, well, let's just say, I think he returned. He told me he should be back soon. But, I'm, so I'm rolling on without him. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. That's what happens.
What's up?
How you doing?
Go in and go out. I know you're frozen. Oh, man. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live. So,
yeah. Lieutenant Dan.
Hey. I just wanted you to know because, that I'm, I watched the whole game with my eye patch on. With my good eye, I got to see every play with my good eye.
Wow.
So I didn't miss anything, because I'm just and help me out because I'm forgetting the terminology that mutt, because that's what you are, a mutt. Because you're not even, because I don't know, is it because you're 3 feet tall, you can't stand up and be a man and call somebody? Instead, you want to take stabs at people or be a touchstone tough guy or whatever because you don't have thick enough skin to be on the internet and have a talk show about sports because you know no shit unless it's the Raiders. It's the Raiders. Raiders. Oh, the Raiders. And by the way, I didn't say that Drew Lock was a great quarterback because he's a friggin' rookie, jackass. I said he was a good quarterback. Okay? He has the potential to be great. And you know what? I think that he wins a championship before the Raiders do. The Raiders. Jackass.
All right, settle down now.
No, you know what?
Happy.
No. And I just want to shout out and reach out. Angela, I'm very sorry because you know what? That guy is a total piece of crap. I have zero respect for douchebags like that, okay? Because he treats you. You're about as nice as anybody to come on. You come on our show. You were more informative than that jackass, first of all, okay? And then, this jackass comes on my show, and if you forget, Nick, he did call your mama a whore. What kind of garbage is that? Okay? And I know I said
he didn't say it directly, but he
did. He did.
Yeah.
Basically, he did. We're wishing her a happy birthday, and he said it. Okay?
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
Okay? Disrespectful, screaming at his wife on air. Total piece of garbage in my book. All right, back to sports. Let's talk to the real thing. The Giants, big win. They hadn't won against the Eagles since 2016. Okay?
Right.
So, big win for the Giants. Finally get off the schneid. Okay, they're half a game back. They're on a bye, 2-game win streak. And let me tell you something.
No, they're a game back.
They're half a game. They're even in the win column.
No, so they're 3-7. Or the Giants are 3-7.
Correct.
Eagles are 3-5-1. So they both played 9 games. So they're basically the Eagles need to play a game.
3-7. The Eagles, right? Because the Giants are on a bye this week. So if the Eagles
win, and they need to figure out what happens in that game,
right?
Because if the Eagles lose, they'd be 3-6-1, and then they would be a half a game up because they're 3-7, they're 3-6-1 because of that. So it all depends what happens in that game that they need to make up. If they win the game, they'll be up a full game. So,
got it.
Who peed in your Cheerios? No.
Hey, I want you to know I can't really see with this stupid ass thing on.
You meant to watch the game yesterday with the patch on.
I did. I watched the game. I watched it with the patch on.
Yeah.
With my good eye. I had it on the wrong eye. That's why I had to switch it.
Yeah. So,
But
man, he came in.
listen, if you can't convert on third down, I believe the Eagles were 0 on third down conversions yesterday. You're not winning too many football games when you're.
Me and Stiz watched that game and about every other game. We pretty much saw every play we could of every game that we could. So, but no, I mean, I didn't think Wentz was horrible. Once again, I'm going to go with Doug. Look, give Jason Garrett. I mean, I think he's been calling good games the last few games.
Absolutely.
He's been really calling a lot of good games for the Giants and putting Daniel Jones in good positions. And look, he made a few throws yesterday that were the one throw that he just missed over the Eagles defender. I mean, he put that exactly where you could put it because, like I said, there was a defender, in his way, but he looked. I mean, Daniel Jones made the plays he needed to make. He makes the run, and like I said, the Eagles didn't run the ball. Once again, Miles Sanders, 15 carries, 85 yards. Boston Scott has the long touchdown. They could have run the ball, but Doug refuses to show any consistency with the run. And, I had said to you, if they run the ball, they could win the game. And they did get back in the game.
They did, running the football.
Right, running the football. And he just continues to –
I thought he was out of bounds on that run, though. I did think he was out of bounds. Right. I thought his foot was out on that touchdown run.
Yeah. I mean, Wentz wasn't horrible. He didn't make mistakes like you said, no turnovers.
Well, you got to remember, both quarterbacks are 1 and 2 in the turnovers for the season. So when right. Both quarterbacks didn't turn the ball over, that's a plus. That's Daniel Jones, 2 straight games, no turnovers. That helped you out.
And people will say too, well, look, Wentz had all his people back. But here's another thing too. Why aren't they? I mean, the line's a problem. The Eagles' line's not playing well. I mean, Wentz was, and that's some of the stuff Doug was doing too. He's calling these plays, and you're having the backup tight end that's rolling over to block somebody to get murdered, and then he just makes some questionable things. And like I said, I just don't think Carson has any isn't comfortable with the offensive line. I mean, but I thought he played half decent yesterday. I know it wasn't perfect, but I don't know.
I thought that offensive line played pretty decent, honestly.
Running the ball, but I just in pass protection.
Yeah, but even on pass protection, when they had those quick route, the quick read out, I thought they held up pretty well. When Wentz sat there and pumped, boom, boom. I mean, he couldn't step up in the pocket. So
right. And like I said, the players that came back too, you didn't see like Jeffrey. You didn't see him much. Goddard played. He didn't really make any big plays.
No.
Rager made a couple plays, the rookie. Fulgham, he struggled yesterday. He missed I think he dropped like 2 balls that he should have caught. Travis Fulgham, I'm talking about, obviously.
Right.
So like I said, we'll see. I mean, the guy who can really, I think, help him, and Doug refuses to open him up, is Miles Sanders. I mean, that guy, he said he's averaging, well, like I said, 15 carries, 85 yards. I mean, that's almost 6 yards of carries averaging. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's really good. Give him the ball. They should be using him more out of the backfield too, and because he can catch the ball really well in some screen passes and things of that nature. Yeah, look, Stiz says he was already 7 Heinekens in by halftime. Lucky he was 1. He's having. I mean, we always know he's horrible at doing comments anyway. And look, there he is, Sammy Kushner. What did he say? Garrett sucks, had all the talent in Dallas and couldn't win. You know what? He did, Sammy, but with the Giants, he's never been a bad offensive coordinator.
No, he's been a great play caller. I think he's just about it. A lot of guys are like that, man.
Yeah, and the thing in Dallas too, some of these guys who like throwing the ball, a really good coach will always mold how he calls plays to his team and what the strengths of his teams are. That's one thing I would say Garrett didn't do. When he had Zeke, he should have run the ball more, and he should have stuck to the run. And, that team was run first, develop the running game with that offensive line, and then let the quarterback, play action and things of that, things like that. So, but no, I mean, Garrett was always a good offensive coordinator. That was never a problem, never a problem with him. What's going on, Angela?
How you doing, Angela?
Yeah, do I look that bad? Yeah, basically, I was asleep still when I got to think for Coach, where are you? You could have called me too, man. Give me a heads up.
I did call. It kept going to voicemail. Check your phone.
So you did call? I didn't even know.
Twice.
I think he's just saying that, people. I really do.
Check your phone.
Missed. Oh, I do have one missed call. You never called me, though. Wasn't going live. See, you gotta go and lie. But
wait a second.
You didn't call me. You texted me. See, don't lie. Don't lie to people.
Second. Call recent Nevada Knicks 601. Called 601. Okay.
I didn't see it.
It says it on my phone right here. 601.
Yeah.
So all right.
And Nevada was probably go there. Stiz, man, the one night, man, sounded like a train. See, at least with Stiz, I taped it, so I have video proof. I have video proof of it. So Stiz, man, it was a shame, Coach. Stiz needs a nightlight on in the room. It seriously does. He wants the TV on. I mean, I even read him a bedtime story the one night I busted bad.
Did you tuck him in too?
Yeah, I did. I read him Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I mean, he sucked his thumb and had his blankie.
Well, after that, he mushed himself. Because he mushed himself talking about his prop bet, and it didn't happen. So,
he'll talk about.
Let me ask you: Did you hear?
He'll be talking about that on Sunday. Trust me.
I saw that some guy took a 10-team parlay, bet 40 grand, turned it into 700.
Really?
I saw it online today.
Wow.
Some guy turned 40 grand into 700 grand on a 10-team parlay, and the Packers saved them. The Packers, pulled it out. And
he ended up at least taking, when you leave AC up money, that's always a good thing. So,
that's a plus.
I think you saw the shrimp from last night, right? Didn't you see did I send that to you, a picture of the shrimp he was eating last night?
No.
I have to send it to you. But we went out last night, went to Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse. It was really good. So we had a good time.
Comped, of course.
He said, told you, Coach, what WTF, so Coach probably wasn't paying attention. He's in his own little world. Plus, Coach has got revenge on the mind right now.
Man, I don't take my meds. I have no idea, man. What's going on.
And Sammy brought up, although I didn't tell everybody, sadly, because Thursday I forgot, but I did take Dustin Johnson, and he ended up winning. So
you did talk about it on our taping Saturday. You talked about Dustin Johnson.
Yeah. So I got that paid out 8-1. So that was nice. But other than that, I came home not lighter than I was. And we're not talking about weight. Talking about money, obviously. I wish it was lighting up definitely not lighter in that regard. Probably heavier in that regard.
Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Last night I had the quadruple chocolate cake. So it was, Stiz started sweating watching me eat it. No, when you go around the league now too, obviously, Coach, Saints.
A lot of news, man.
Yeah, Saints. You got the whole thing with Breeze. I think they're lucky a little bit in the fact that the schedule's not crazy hard. Maybe you can just, as a team, pull together 3 wins because they go Falcons, Broncos, Falcons. And, I think it's going to be Winston in all 3 of those games. I think they're saying like 3 weeks right now. I'm going to look it up. But still,
and that intrigues me to see Winston in an offense with, a little, like you said, we talked off air, a little more structure. And I think that will help him. And I'm anxious to see how that plays out.
Yeah. And actually, I didn't know this whole part. I knew about the ribs. He had multiple rib fractures, but he also had a collapsed lung. That's no joke. So I got to wonder now, maybe is it not a couple more weeks? Because remember, Drew Brees, isn't that not Drew Brees? Drew Bledsoe, another Drew B. But
Right.
remember Drew Bledsoe, wasn't that kind of the same thing? Broken ribs and a collapsed lung, or was his? Because remember, he almost like died or something. It was really bad.
Yeah,
He was losing
be
blood or
right.
something like that,
Yeah.
And I remember he was out for a good while. So I don't know, man. It's a shame. I hate hearing things like that, especially with a team like the Saints, who now the last 2 weeks have really looked like they're in the upper echelon of the
Right.
NFL, starting to really come together. Hopefully, Winston can come in, beat Teddy Bridgewater for him, keep that record. And it's possible. Like I said, Atlanta, Denver, Atlanta, they could win those 3 games with their team
No,
alone.
that's not Bridgewater. That's Bridgewater.
It's Winston. I'm saying did like Bridgewater did, though,
Oh,
last
yeah,
year
yeah. Yes.
when he
Okay.
he filled in for
Gotcha.
Brees. So, yeah, we'll see. But I think it's possible. It's, like I said, the schedule's not too crazy. I like who the Saints have around them. And, Coach, I like to see him because, always before, Arians was that, turn it loose, type guy.
Right.
John Payton's very, much more, about the system. And I'm really curious to see how Winston plays with his second chance, basically. He knows it.
Right.
This is his chance to come in for 3 games and showcase his talents and maybe say, hey, look, if I'm in a better situation, different things can happen, So we'll see. Maybe he'll do okay.
Okay. I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see it this week.
Yeah. It, Coach. With him, he was throwing over 30 touchdowns a year. So that part's great. It's just the interception. So if he could play that one level and eliminate the bad plays.
Yeah, but I think that's because I think a lot of that, though, they were constantly trying to hit the home run. And
yeah, that's what I mean.
That, you're susceptible to a lot more picks that way.
Yeah.
And so I think you're with the Saints, they really don't have that home run hitter as the wideout. I mean, they're not really, I don't think anybody scares you over the top, takes the top off.
Yeah, Michael Thomas doesn't really. He's
not
a possession guy, but he's a consistency guy for you. Right. So he'll have some people to work with. We'll see.
Right, and I think that will help him tremendously, having somebody that's more of a route runner.
Right, and watching Drew Brees play might really help too. Just seeing how he takes what the defense gives him and move the ball down the field. Maybe you see a new type Jameis instead of, as you know, Coach, when you're going to throw a ton of 50-50 balls, there's going to be a problem. I'm not, so that's why they're called 50-50 balls. I mean, what does that mean? 50-50,
Right.
So.
You're absolutely right. So, so we'll see how that plays out, and we'll go from there. I'm excited to see it, though.
Yeah, and real quick, Coach, if you don't mind, because we'll probably end up forgetting if we don't do it real quick. But the Phoenix Suns they traded and acquired Chris Paul. So the Phoenix Suns, who a lot of people were excited about, they went 8-0 in the bubble and looked really good. I mean, I know it's only 8 games, but still, they were dominant and beating some of the best teams in the league. So Phoenix was really looking good, and now you bring in an older veteran like Chris Paul, and they didn't give up anybody crazy. I mean, they gave up the 2022 first-round pick, but they didn't give up any of their key players really to get them. So, Kelly Oubre Jr. is good. Ricky Rubio, he's okay, but I'm not, I think Chris Paul's a better player even now at this stage. So that's an interesting trade for Phoenix. And
also, what's his name, opted out of the LA. Anthony Davis.
No, he didn't. The contract. Oh, they knew he was going to.
Opted out. Right. Free agent.
Yeah, I think he's going to get paid. I think he kind of knew what he was. He knew what he was doing. So.
Right.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the other game yesterday. There's a ton of stuff yesterday, but Coach, I keep telling you every week, I mean, how about them Dolphins, man? Are you starting to believe them? Aren't you starting to believe a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, 5 straight wins now, 6-3. The Buffalo loses on a Hail Mary to the Cardinals.
Oh, man, what a play that was. Holy cow, man. I couldn't believe that.
Coach, you think that's bad? So Stiz had them -3. And the guy goes and had Murray take a knee when they were going just to tie the game. So Stiz would at least push the bet. So instead of kicking the extra point, Cliff Kingsbury says take a knee, and they don't kick the extra point.
Right, absolutely.
What are you doing, Coach?
I don't know.
You're in the middle of the show.
It's PP Eater sending me something. I'm trying to.
Then what are you worried about? What are you worried about PP Eater for?
I don't know. He sent me something. I wanted to see if it was something relevant that I could share on the air. But it's just PP Eater being PP Eater, So he's getting ready for his Viking shellacking tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see. Another winning week for me, though. It's a shame, man. The Ravens really hurt me last night. That if Ravens cover, and they didn't even need to cover the spread. I had a -0.5 or -1, whatever it was, and they couldn't even do that. Coach, remember I said this year that the Ravens were going to take a step back.
Right.
Remember there was people talking about them going undefeated? I mean, let's not forget that. There was people actually saying the Ravens could go undefeated, and I said they'd take a step back. And what are they? They're like 5 or maybe 6-3, excuse me. But still, I said like 11-5. So that's still very possible.
They're 6-3. Yes, you're right. 6-3.
So, I said it, and you can say it. They
but
just
now, sorry, I got to get back to the Giants. They're on a bye, but they have a tough schedule coming up. They got to play, and I don't know what the order is.
So do the Eagles, though, Coach. So that's what helps.
They have the Browns, the Bengals, the Seahawks, Dallas, and I'm missing somebody. They still have to play.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, the Eagles in the next the next 4 are real tough. It's Browns, Seahawks, Saints, and Packers. So that's a tough stretch. So the Eagles do too. I told you, they're right back in it. And they showed you yesterday. The Eagles pretty much had, don't get me wrong, there is the guys that are out for the year, but I mean, I don't know that Zach Ertz coming back. I mean, like I said, I hate to say it, but I've written off Deshaun Jackson. I just don't think he's ever going to play any meaningful football in Philadelphia. So, and the Raiders did put down an ass whooping. Look, this putt's over here. The putt's right here. I guess he was wrong about Drew Lock, but
no, I'm not wrong. Yeah. The kid's good when he gets some pieces around him, and they're getting there. They added a receiver. They're going to fix the offensive line. They still need to get a running game. They have a tight end. They have a receiver. They just need a running back, really.
Yeah.
I think what's his name from the Chargers hasn't been healthy that they signed in the offseason. And once they get a decent running game, their offensive line is okay. And you got to remember they are missing one of the best defensive linemen in the league as well. You got to remember that. So, I still think he is a good enough quarterback to get them moving in the right direction.
Right, and the Raiders got the Chiefs coming into Vegas too now, so I think the Raiders are gonna. I love the Chiefs
because the NFL did that on purpose, just so you know. They hate the Raiders. They wanted to do it on purpose.
Everybody hates the Raiders. The broadcasters, the commissioner, the referees, the cheerleaders. They all hate the Raiders. So, but yeah, you got a tough one coming up this week. Look, I think the Raiders are obviously going to make the playoffs. I think they're a good team. But they would really impress me if they could beat and look, they've already beat them once. But if to say they beat the Chiefs twice, that would be really, that's a real, that's a badge of honor, it really is. So, but I think I really kind of got a feeling that the Chiefs are going to lay it on them.
Yeah, like 63-3, something like that.
No, I just think more of a double-digit type win. I see them winning by like 10-14. I think they're gonna, And to me, no matter what, when you lose by 2 touchdowns, you're winning the game pretty handily, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And so Angela just said the media said Gruden. They asked him about the bye situation, and Gruden said it must have been a coincidence. And look, Angela, and this is how I said it. I do, it does happen a lot. But, the way I look at it, this is like the first time, and maybe if you want to say last year, if they did it last year too, that it's relevant. Before, the Raiders were never a relevant team. And that one game wasn't going to matter. They haven't been relevant in a while. And I'm not trying to be rude. It's just kind of the truth. And now they are relevant. So, yeah, this year it matters. But you know what? You already beat them once. So, look, you have an opportunity to beat them twice. I would definitely say the Chiefs have the advantage. But now it's something I think they really need to look at because the Raiders are starting to become a good organization. And they're putting good pieces for John Gruden. So, yeah, look, if they keep on doing this, it's almost a competitive advantage then. And, I mean, I think before it was just like, oh, it's the Raiders. Not, and I kind of think that's why that's what was happening. But, now it is something to look at, something they should really change because there is no doubt it's a competitive advantage to have the team off a bye. But Coach's Giants did, they went out and dealt with it and won the game. So
even though Doug Peterson's like 1-3 on buys, so
I know
coming off a buy, he's terrible. So totally opposite. I mean,
yeah. So no, but Coach, like I said it when I picked the Giants on Sunday, I just don't think the Eagles have it this year. They just, it was just like yesterday, Coach. When we were watching the game from the sports book. The Eagles went down and did really good, looked great. Looked like the offense was really starting to get some juice. And then the defense goes up and just lets the touchdown. That's a bad team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need that to that point when your offense goes and gets you a play. Defense needs to come back and make a play. And,
and as a Giant fan, every game this year, except for the 49er game, the Giants, the last 5 games, they've gone into halftime with a lead. And it's like you have to hold your breath in the second half because they keep blowing them, and it's like, what the hell? And, and I was getting worried there because when I went, but I even said this, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the game with my daughter. And I even said, I said, hey, don't worry. The Eagles will stop running the ball. You watch.
And they did.
Watch, because they're running. They scored a touchdown. I'm like, damn it. And I go, don't worry. They hate running the ball. They're going to stop soon.
Yeah.
And they did because they're getting back into it. And
well, and Coach, it too. When you have a line that's a little bit experienced and you're missing a Pro Bowl on the right side, they like running the ball, and it sets an attitude. And when you're not having success pass blocking, it's just not good. It didn't make sense to me why they didn't just keep up with it yesterday. You were having a ton of success. I don't know why they didn't keep. And look, Doug's going to be getting hurt. I mean, he's getting killed in Philly because he's making questionable calls. But you know what, Coach? It was the one thing you got to say that's different. We said the Giants couldn't close and they couldn't finish games, and now they're doing it. And the biggest thing is Danny Jones isn't making those. Daniel Jones, whatever, isn't making those critical mistakes.
Back to Danny
Dimes, okay. But he's not making those critical mistakes and end the games, There's a couple plays yesterday he could have thrown it, whatever. He took the sack. He's, moving on to the next play a little bit.
Because there was a couple of times where I want to say it was Graham came over with the big swat, and I thought, and it was like, oh, man, but he was able to hold on to the football. So, That was positive, and there was that one time too. He got his arm hit and he threw that duck up, and that was almost an interception. So you just worry about it.
Yeah, and Coach, I'll tell you too. When you look at Seattle really coming back down to earth now too.
Yeah,
I mean the Rams kind of put them on them yesterday,
and I just think that they've become one-dimensional. It's just the Russell Wilson. You shut Russell Wilson down, he's done, because there's no running game to even talk about in Seattle. There's nothing there. And they're just – and it's tough because they don't have – I don't even know who the receivers are except for Metcalf.
Oh, they got Lockett.
Lockett's still there.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
good too. He's not just, but that's what happened yesterday. They put Ramsey on DK Metcalf, took him out of the game basically. Ramsey played a great game, and that was pretty much all that That was all she wrote. I mean, they know it's all Russell Wilson now.
Right.
Both top running backs were out. Yeah, and look, the Rams are in first place now because they beat. They're tied, both 6-3. And obviously, the Rams just beat them head to head. So now the Seahawks. Now me and Stiz were looking at the schedules. The Seahawks have a favorable schedule, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely coming back down to earth, man. You can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But the Giants to go 4-2 in the division, which they haven't done in a while. Not saying they can win the division, but just having a division record of 4-2 would be good because they're 3-2 right now. They beat Dallas, they'll be 4-2. So,
I think it's possible though. I think they could win. And Kevin said trade Wentz to the Colts. Supposedly the Colts would do it in a second.
right.
And look, I like Wentz. I believe in Wentz. I think they need to put more pieces around them. But if the Colts came and said, here's 2 first-round picks, I would do it. But I'm not taking a second-round pick for Carson Wentz. And I know that might sound crazy to you, Coach, but still the guy has played at an MVP level. You got to give me something that's going to help change my organization too. Right. I'm not just going to go give you, a guy that can play at that kind of level for nothing.
Hey, I got to go call a timeout. My doorbell's ringing. I don't know who's coming during my show, but
look at this in the middle of the show.
In the middle of the show, you believe this?
Unbelievable. Maybe it's somebody to come whip your ass, Putz.
Yeah, some midget with an iPad.
All right, it's time. Settle down there, Putz.
All right. So anyway, he's a UPS guy. My bad. I got
a UPS guy to a FedEx guy. Look at that.
So, but the stripper's coming. That's right, Chris. I'm expecting the stripper, but she's not supposed to show up for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, so she's supposed to know when the show ends.
And she has all the right parts too. Unlike some other people that likes to, But
man, you're fired up today, Coach. Huh?
Do you? Let me ask you. Do you have a pick for tonight's game? You like any of this action?
I'm gonna love the game, but the Bears are a very good home dog. They're getting over a field goal. Vikings have been playing a little bit better lately, but I would say I would go with the Bears as a home dog, taking the 3.5. Like I said, I don't love the game, but if I would do something, that is what I would bet.
Okay.
And Coach, I don't know if you knew tonight too. So Nagy handed over the offensive coordinator position the calling of the plays. Yes, to the O coordinator. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I thought he did that to last week.
I think this week was the first. I'm pretty sure.
All right,
what I saw it said was this week was going to be the first week. So
got it. Okay. All right. I thought it was a week ago that they did that. So
okay.
And they were going to keep doing it because it was more successful or some crap. I don't know. But anyway. So
what?
I honestly want to say this though. The Giants, the right guard got hurt yesterday. So Will Hernandez came back into his spot. They moved the rookie over. And, I really, the more this rookie's playing, Lemieux, man, I like him. And so we'll see where how this offensive line's starting to gel together, and they're doing a little different. The Giants are kind of rotating offensive linemen like the defensive line, and nobody's doing that. Maybe they're ahead of the curve. I don't know, but right now it seems to be working. and I'm I'm liking it.
Yeah. And Coach, I'll tell you too. Just not to go back, but to the Ravens, yesterday losing that game, Coach. I mean, man, the Steelers pretty much almost have that division wrapped up.
Right.
Them being 6-3, Steelers are 9-0. You got a 3-game lead, and you own the tiebreaker because you beat them head to head.
Right. You play them a week from Thursday.
Right. So you're looking at more like a 4-game lead with seven games to play. I mean, that's a tall order. I mean, the Ravens could go undefeated. The Steelers basically just need to go 4-3 and play 500 football. And the Steelers have a very, very favorable schedule coming up too. So I think they play the Jags this coming week. So they have a lot of winnable games. So we will see. And I think they play. Now they already played the Eagles, but still. They play like the Giants or the Redskins too, so or maybe both of them. I think.
Yeah, I think it's both of them. I know the Giants. The only team they've played is the Steelers, so they have all 3 teams in the AFC North there. So
yeah, the Eagles play the Browns this weekend, so we'll see. Do I think
that's a huge game for both teams?
Right,
obviously, because with the Browns losing to the Raiders. A playoff team that you keep saying they need to keep pace. They need to win a football game. They need to win this game. It's a very important game, I think, for the Browns.
Yeah, and Stiz put up 2 decent Thursday night game, and he's right. Seattle and Arizona, and I can tell you now, I'm going to like Seattle in that game. Arizona coming off the crazy win, Hail Mary, and look, Seattle's like I said, they're 1-3 in their last 4. A team that everybody was looking at as a Super Bowl, and they're kind of not falling apart, but you're headed in the wrong direction. They're another loss away to the point where you start getting worried. Can we make the playoffs? I mean, let's be honest. If you're 6-4 after being 5-0 or 6-0, whatever they were, I mean, it's not good. So, the Rams look better this year. Arizona's good. In fact, I think I know there's tiebreakers, but I think they're all tied for first place in that division.
San Fran is out.
Excuse me, but Arizona's in the league, not the Rams. I apologize.
Right.
They're 2-0 in the division, so that's why. But Arizona, the Rams, and Seahawks all have a 6-3 record. So, and they're going to be beating up on each other on the way down. So, that's a huge Thursday night game. And Arizona has a little revenge too, Seattle does, because Arizona beat them earlier in the year on a Sunday night or Monday night game. So I'll probably like Seattle on Thursday night. That's definitely where I'll be leaning.
Okay, and we'll be back Thursday night to talk about it. So
yeah, we will.
It should be fun.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Like I said, we're getting down into the stretch of things here. It's going to be interesting. I mean, now too, that NFC South is very interesting because, Saints have the half a game lead. They're 7-2. Bucks are 7-3. But, with this Drew Brees injury, does that, open the door a little bit for the Bucks now to take back that number 1 seed in the NFC South, or, to win the NFC South? And then you got the whole Packer situation too, where I think right now they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. But obviously the Saints are 7-2 as well. But Packers did beat them head to head. So we'll see who takes the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, and it'll start kind of seeing some clarity in how this how it falls into place here in the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Right. But Coach, I'll tell you, I think we're going to have some really good games to end the year, because when you look, a lot of close divisions. Indy and Tennessee are tied. We already went over Arizona, Rams, and Seahawks are all tied. Saints and Bucks are basically tied. Everything in the NFC East, that's real tight and might come down to the last 2 games. And then to me, the one that I'll be keeping my eye on, that I've been talking about a long time, is that AFC East. Bills are 7-3. Dolphins are 6-3, and the Dolphins have a pretty favorable schedule coming up. You know, like I said, Coach, you know how high I am on this team, and so they got at Denver this weekend, at the Jets, and then versus Cincinnati. This team could win all three of those games. If they play like they've played in the previous 5, they will go 3-0. And then we're talking about a 9-3 Dolphins team. Now, down the stretch, they do have a rough last 4, but they have the Chiefs, which you never know any given Sunday. But then they play New England, and then the 2 big games for them, and I've said this, I said to Raiders fans, mark your calendar, December 27th. It's going to be Vegas and Miami.
I believe that game is in Miami.
No, it is in Vegas.
It is?
I'm looking at it right now, but Coach, that's going to be a huge game. Yeah, Miami at Vegas.
What's the date of the New England game?
The New England game's December 20th, but they can win that game. Although New England,
that's right, because I'll be down there, so maybe I could get a ticket and get into the game.
There you go, and watch it.
I'll have to call some of my connections and see if I can get a couple of strings pulled.
Yeah, there you go, Coach. But so it's going to come down to the last 2 games for them. If they can play decent, I mean, honestly, to me, in those last 2 games, they should go 4-1. You lose the Kansas City game, but you win the other 4. If you do that, you're going in 10-4. Pretty impressive.
I tell you what, that is going to be huge. You talk about the Raiders and the Dolphins because they're both good. That's a playoff kind of could be a preview playoff.
Oh, 100%. Especially for the Dolphins because if they don't win the division, I mean, I think they got their eyes on the division right now. I think it's possible. But if not, then that's a playoff position
to
game.
The Raiders, that could mean the difference between winning the division and going in the wild card.
Right, and for them, and it could mean that it could be for a playoff spot too, because those teams. I mean, I don't really think the Raiders can catch the Chiefs, but Raiders are looking for a playoff spot, and right now they're a playoff team. They should have it. So it'll be interesting because there's a lot of teams that are going to be vying for it because you still have the Ravens, obviously. You have the Colts and the Titans both with 3 losses. And then, you got the Raiders, the Dolphins. So there's There's the 4 division winners and then 3 wild card teams. So, there's only a couple spots there to be won. So it's going to be interesting. And there's going to be probably a pretty good team that gets left out.
Yeah, I think so. And unfortunately, in the NFC, you're going to have a team with a losing record as a division winner. Right,
because when you look at it, the Bills and the Dolphins will win the division. The other team's going to be fighting for one of those wild card spots. And then you got the Ravens and the Browns in the AFC North fighting for it. And then the loser of the Titans and Colts will be fighting for it. Right. And then, obviously, you got the Raiders out in the AFC South because we all believe the Chiefs are going to win it. So you got the Raiders out there fighting with those teams, too, for 3 spots. So it's going to be interesting.
Right. That'll be the way it works. So it should be it's going to be interesting. Excited to see it all play out. That's why we play it every week. So
my mouth is so dry. I'm like dying for water. I'm talking, and when you got that dry mouth,
that's why you got to keep the beverage close at hand, there, Nick. Yeah.
It's funny, Coach. Who would think your team would beat mine and we'd be 3-5-1, and we're still in first place, baby. We're still in first place, baby. And that's what's crazy. We can even lose another game, and we're still in first place.
Yes,
because we would be 3-6-1 and be up a true half game because of that tie. So, it's going to be. I'm really curious to see how many wins this because, like I said, honestly, the Eagles are going into a stretch where at the end of it, they could be. What are they? 3-5-1. They could be 3-9-1. I'm not even kidding. They got 4 tough games.
Yeah, but so do the Giants. That's the thing. So do the Giants. The Giants. I am really trying hard. Because Cincinnati's playing really good football right now. That's going to affect. So are the Browns. I mean, neither one of those are give me.
Coach.
Arizona's playing really well. Seattle,
Yeah.
Seattle. They're a playoff team. They're going to come in and play very well.
They got Browns and Ravens. Yeah,
and then the Ravens as well. I mean, Dallas is the only game that I see. Okay, there. I'm putting a win in the win column. But
the Cincinnati game's huge now in 2 weeks. It's obviously they have a bye this week, but that Cincinnati game's going to be huge for you, Coach. It really is, because if you lose that, then you go, like you said, Seattle, Arizona, both who are going to want to win because, like I said, they're fighting for playoff spots.
Right.
Then you got Cleveland, that's right in the mix in the AFC, and then you play at Baltimore. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if the Eagles are 3-9-1, and let's say you guys can sneak away with the Cincy win, you guys could be.
We'd be 4-11
going in to the last game against the Cowboys. And let's say you're 5-11. I don't know. Like I said, the Eagles, they just got to find a way to win 2 games. it's division. Could you imagine 5-10-1 winning a division? I mean, how sad is that?
How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that? But all I can say is watch out for next year, because the Giants are really
they're good,
putting some things together, and that offensive line gets fixed.
Yep.
I mean,
Trent Dilfer said that today. He said this team reminds me a lot of the Bucs. When I was there in '96, he said we started 1-7, and then we started figuring it out. And in the season, we ended the season really good. And the next year, Tony Dungy took over in the middle of the year, and that's a little different. But now you got Judge, and he said we bought in, and then the next year we were a good team. And the Giants are going to get good. I just really they got to figure out the Daniel Jones zone. This is one game, Coach.
But I honestly, I think I'm only giving him a pass because of the COVID thing with the new coach not being able to get all the reps in camp and preseason and stuff. So you go put pieces around him, some more pieces, because look, I love Slayton. I've been on his bandwagon from Jump Street. He's not a true number one. So you need a number one receiver there. And, we're not going to pay Barkley. Barkley's going to finish out his contract and move on. But, and I'm a big fan. Gallman's showing that he can be the guy. You give him the ball, he can be the guy. So I really am excited for the future. And the Giants have really put some, that kind of no-name defense. I mean, Bradbury was a great sign. He's really that corner that you need. And breaking news, DeAndre Baker, all charges dropped. The attorney for the 3 people pressing the charges is getting embezzlement charges of trying to embezzle him or whatever. So he's going to get reinstated. But the Giants have cut him, so he's obviously a free agent, can sign anywhere. I don't think he'll come back to the Giants. But I know the Giants are going to need a corner. But look, Jabril Peppers is playing well in that secondary. You have kind of 2 pieces. Martinez is really a stud at linebacker, really good. And look, Leonard Williams, I bitched about the trade last year, but he's really playing true to form. But you got a couple of guys that you got to pay. So how's that going to work out? You can't pay both of those D linemen. So
yeah, and Stiz said too about Winston, good spot to come into against Alex, and it is Stiz, it is. And I think Peyton's they're gonna run the ball. They're gonna lean on Kamara, I believe. But, they're going to let him make some plays, too. I'm excited to see what Winston can do with – like I said, not that Arians is a bad coordinator, but I think Peyton's going to be better for him and work with him. You're talking about Peyton, a former quarterback. You know what I mean? Maybe can, help him work. As you know, Coach, you try to – Belichick, that's what he's always been great at, is kind of hiding your players' weaknesses and going to their strengths and flowering their strengths and playing that to them, and that's being a great coach.
There you go. It is. That's what it's all about, man. All about.
So, that's what the game is, there, Coach.
Yeah. And you know what? I think we'll everyone enjoy Monday night. Nick's got to get back to sleep. He's struggling He's got his little worker bees in the back behind him, in and out back there. We don't know what the hell's going on back there in there, counting money, whatever they're doing back there. Hotline to Malaysia or whatever it is. So we'll let him get back to his deal.
Coach has got to go take his blood pressure medicine after his little craziness in the beginning of going off. So.
Yeah, and I think I might have to do a separate show just about that situation and do that, because it's not fair to everybody who tunes in to talk about sports, and that's what we were here to talk about. Not that. Is that what it is? It wasn't the alcohol. It was the chocolate cake. Is that what? It is? Yeah. What is he getting into? Diabetic coma? Is that what?
I was sweating, man.
Oh man!
Stiz looked at me like I was nuts. Stiz had I think it was like the 22-ounce bone-in ribeye or whatever it's called.
Nice.
Yeah, we were both of us when we were done. We were like, all right, man, we were gambling all day. We were at the sports book. We both were like, yeah, we better go up in the room for a little bit and let it let our stomachs hang out a little bit before we go back downstairs.
So, all right, good stuff. Hopefully I'll be
real quick, sorry, but I had to bring this story up. So me and Stiz are getting ready to go to Gordon's, Coach. All right, so we're walking to Gordon's Steakhouse, really great place, in fact, in Atlantic City. Really took care of me and Stiz. But there was some guy, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, panhandler or something, and he goes, hey, guys, can you buy me a slice of pizza? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to eat. And I wasn't thinking, like, the dude hungry looking for pizza, and here I'm like, dude, I'm going to dinner. See you later. But that's what I said to him, not thinking. And Stiz is like, yo, dude, you literally just told the guy that asked for a slice of pizza, yo, I got to go get dinner.
So did you wasn't bring him out a piece of pizza, a little,
we had a reservation, though, too. That's what I kind of meant. We had a reservation, and we had to get to it. You know what I mean? I would have had to go in and walk in and buy him the pizza, and, I didn't have any change on. I'm not giving
You didn't have any of your minions? You couldn't have any of your entourage take care of it?
Nah, that was just me and Stiz. I left all my security at home.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't like the crowds and all. I like to just focus in and gamble myself. And trust me, Stiz will tell you, there were some annoying people that night. We had this one group who would play at one slot, and it's like the whole family, 65 people. The one lady's coming in with her wipes and wiping it all down in her hazmat suit. And then they would all sit there and be like, oh, we just hit $4. And it's like, would you shut up? I'm trying to gamble here. I'm losing my ass off, and I got to listen to you people.
All right, good stuff, everyone. Make sure, if you haven't already, YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell. Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts, download it, subscribe there too. Like us on Facebook, of course, and keep watching. We appreciate it. And we'll be back on Thursday. Go ahead. What?
Oh, I was eating. That's all right. I apologize. I got one more quick story. But I was eating the I was eating the steak, and when you get you don't chew it right, and you get that one piece that could get stuck in your throat. I thought I was gonna get ready choking, and Stiz is looking at me like, motherfucker, I ain't giving you the Heimlich. And he's like, I'll give you the Heimlich because I couldn't fit my arms around you. I would have had him like, is Matumbo in the house? Where's the Kembe? Get around here. Just give me somebody to give the arms around this poor guy.
You had to run up against a chair or something.
Go run into the wall and fall through the wall.
Something. Smack him on the back with a chair. Just hit him. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate it. And we'll see everybody on Thursday. Take care.